Hey everyone, Marcy here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am back with another vlog video on Bali, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you more about kind of how to stay when you're not only on vacation in Bali, you could be anywhere literally. Do you want to stay in an Airbnb? Do you want to stay in like a nice villa? Do you want to stay in something unique? Do you want to stay in a budget-friendly hotel, or do you want to stay in a 5-star resort? So that's exactly what I'm going to get into today. And again, please always like, comment, and subscribe. And I want to comment. I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear kind of what's on your mind, what questions you have, and if you want another video topic regarding travel and or Bali, be sure to let me know. All right, so here we go. Stepping into, how should you travel? I think how you travel boils down, as we all know, how much money do I have to spend? Like, what is your budget? And so thinking about your budget will really kind of zone in on exactly where you need to start. And depending on what that may look like, for me, I did both. I stayed in a 5-star resort, and I also stayed in an Airbnb. And that's just how I choose to travel. I like to have 2 different experiences while I'm on a trip so that you can kind of get different looks and feels of how your trip is going to be. So another determining factor would be also how long you're going to be staying. So if you're going to be staying longer at a place, you have more opportunities. And if it were me, I would do them all. That would be awesome. And if not, just do based on your budget. And so that would be the tip in terms of kind of how you travel, how you decide to travel, where you want to go, and then also what you want to do. So for me, I knew that I wanted to do yoga. I knew that possibly having a gym at the resort would have been something that I'm interested in. Some resorts also come with that person up front that'll help you plan excursions and things of that nature. So if you know that that's you and you want that feel, definitely go possibly the resort route. There are smaller hotels that also will provide breakfast if that's something that's interested to you, as well as the 5-star resorts. Think about, I need a place where at least I get fed breakfast and the rest of the day I'm out on my own. Now, once you get into more of the unique experiences, you won't really have that opportunity per se, but it depends on the host. The host may offer you breakfast or coffee. Typically, they will do that. And then for the most part, you're out on your own. Think about your living spaces. Do you want to live in a space where, or stay in a space where you're having to share bathrooms or share that hostel type of environment? That may or may not be for you, depending on how you plan to travel. And so in terms of Bali, I can just speak from my experience there. The resort that we stayed in was nice. And we stayed in the Kenran resort. I will possibly do a video on that to just share kind of what that experience was like. But we definitely wanted that 5-star experience. After all, it is a big milestone anniversary, right? So we definitely wanted to do that. And the room was great. The room was big, definitely compared to other places. And another second part of our trip, we stayed again at the beach, Uluwatu, and we stayed at an Airbnb. And I loved having both experiences because Uluwatu let me kind of live like the locals. We walked everywhere we wanted to go. If I can walk, I can or I will, and not have to use the driver. Whereas the resort, kind of having that experience. So something else to keep in mind, at least when I book travel, is, if I'm going to be out and gone all day, do I really want to spend a lot of money for a resort that I'm not going to be in? So that's something definitely that I had to take into account, and I did get a really, really good deal on my particular resort, so I didn't feel guilty like being gone for the majority of the day, which I was. And so let that be, as you plan your trip, that strategic way of planning. Maybe you pick the Airbnb on the days where you're going to be gone most of the day. And then once you're going to be chilling at the pool or, kind of hanging close to resort, you can pick that way as well. So hopefully that gives you some more guidance on kind of how to pick that place you want to stay in or what's next. And the last tip of advice I would give, depending on where you travel, something such as a villa might be much cheaper than it is for you wherever you live. And so the villas in Bali were absolutely affordable, and I would have loved to stay in one, but I think that it would have been more fun for like a couple's trip or a girlfriend trip or something of that nature where there's more people. And this is just my experience. So I think that would have been a lot of fun to have that experience, to have the villa, because the villa comes with your own private pool, and you can hire that chef to come to your villa and cook for you. You can bring in a massage therapist, and you can just make it this big experience. I know a lot of retreats will oftentimes do it that way. So if I go back, I'll definitely want to do a villa. And it was in our price range to do a villa from kind of where we are, but then I started looking at location. So location is going to be key too. I knew that I wanted to walk and kind of have that flexibility to go as I please versus always having to call on my driver. And so I picked a place that was close to restaurants and close to the beach, so then I could just handle it that way. But I did fall in love with a particular villa. I didn't quite stay. But yeah, try to do it all if you can. If your schedule allows, you'll really be able to, you know, feel that country or feel where you are to kind of get that experience, and make the best out of it is what I would advise, and do what's best for you and your budget, and plan early if you can. I used a website called Agoda this time around, and I was able to find some really good prices, so check that out. And I hope that video helps on kind of how to pick the best lodging and based on your budget and what you may want to do in Bali. So for me, it was 5-star resort, and it was also Airbnb. I'll see you for the next one. Bye.